Hey smart tech gurus, in this episode I'm going to talk about my favorite smart home tech. I'm going to cover about 13 smart home devices for my home. It may not be the best for your situation, it's just all upon preference. Hopefully this video will give you some ideas of how you can get it to work for you. None of this equipment is sponsored, it's just the items that I wanted to use for my situation. Before I go into all these smart items, I'd like to share I did spend around $1,200 for the 12 items. That may seem like a lot of money. The way I look at it is it's like buying a new laptop. So it averages about $100 a piece. The value you're getting out of it is home automation. So a lot of these things you don't realize the value until you start using them. And then it is like a smartphone where then you realize you can't be without them. So for example, a smart lock, you have the peace of mind. The door is always locked and you don't have to worry about if it is locked or unlocked when you leave. So it's just a consideration on the value. You may not need all of these devices. Hopefully this video will kind of give you an idea what you would like and what maybe you don't like. I'll make sure to put links in the description for all the devices I show you today, plus some additional ones that I talk about. So I'm going to cover over 5 categories here. First, we're going to have security and lock. Then we're going to go over speakers and display. Third is switches, outlets, and lights. Fourth is thermostat and appliances. And lastly is your Wi-Fi. So I've gone through all the different possible scenarios, situations that you might want to try. So let's start with the first one of security and locks. For security cameras, I went with the Nest system mostly because I'm a fan of Google Assistant and their displays. There is other ones out there such as Arlo and Ring. Those are really good. If you don't want to go toward Google's integration with Nest, then I might suggest trying out Ring, which is really good. They're a leader in the space. I'm going to show you the Nest cameras. I've been pretty happy with them overall. First, we have the outdoor camera. This is the first generation. It is waterproof, so that's the difference between the indoor camera. The new generations have IQ technology, that's face detection. It also has 4K, so it's a little bit bigger. But other than that, you get a 25-foot cable. You will need to drill a hole from outside about the size of a USB, and then it plugs into a standard 110. You get about 25 feet of cable to run indoor, unless you have an outdoor plug. Okay, next we have the indoor camera. This one is the IQ, so you can see it's a different design. It follows the outdoor display. So the nice part about IQ is it will detect faces. It does give you better, higher 4K resolution and zooming capabilities. So a couple of the other features I talked about the software is it has Google Assistant, so you can talk to it. It has two-way communication audio, so you can talk to and from the camera. It records live, and then you can look at active clips in the past 3 hours. If you want recording, then you can get Nest Aware, which is anywhere from $10 to $30 a month, which will give you up to 30 days of recording time. And then last, and my favorite, is the Nest Hello. If you're gonna get any camera system, this is probably where I would start, is the doorbell system. It hooks up to the display or your phone so you can see notifications when somebody rings the doorbell. You can send auto-replies if you're not home or if you don't want to answer. And you can also talk two-way audio with the person at the door. Okay, moving on to the lock. My favorite choice was the August lock. August lock will allow you to auto unlock or lock based on your location of your phone. If you come home, it will detect your location and it'll automatically unlock. I have really not had any complaints. You take off the back deadbolt and you replace that, and you can leave the existing key. So you can still use the same key, and this provides a smart home capability. It does require a hub that you need to plug in so it can have connection to Wi-Fi. It does also integrate with Alexa and Google Assistant to lock and unlock. I also want to mention the August lock is compatible with the Apple Watch. So if you have a LTE Apple Watch, then you leave without your phone or keys, you always have your watch. All right, next we have the MyQ garage door opener. This is simply a hub or a bridge to connect with your garage door opener. It's a simple setup. What I like most about this is you can set alerts. It does not automatically close, but you can set alerts for X amount of minutes. So if it's left open, it'll send you an alert. It has an adapter that goes on the top of your garage door to detect if it's open or closed. You can also pair the MyQ with a voice assistant. The downside is it costs $10 a year. It's not for free. So if you want to use Alexa or Google, you got to pay $10 a year. It also supports the Apple Watch, so you can close and open it from anywhere you are. Okay, so that's the category for the smart locks. Now let's move on to the category of the speakers and displays. Okay, what I have here is the Echo Dot. Alexa is the most prominent of third party. I like Alexa mostly because almost all smart home tech is compatible with Alexa. Then you have the Google Home. Pair up the Google Home with the Chromecast, which I have here. It works great for Netflix and YouTube. So you can tell the Google Home or any Google Assistant what you want to watch on TV, YouTube, Netflix, and you eliminate your remote controls. And then last, you have the Google Home Hub. And this is a 7-inch display, which is great for controlling all of these devices, or you can look at the camera at any time that you want. I'm gonna set this up in the kitchen, and you can also do recipes where it will show you and give you step-by-step instructions. And then you can have it do personalized routines. If you wake up in the morning, if you get home, you can have play music, you can have turn on cameras, you can customize what routine that you want. Everything that the Google Assistant does with the display. And lastly, it works great for a digital photo frame. So if you have Google Photos, you can automatically pick out people in your family, create a live album. It will curate the content for you automatically and display it on here. All right, let's move on to the next category, switches, outlets, and lights. So what I have here first is just a simple power strip, and it has 4 outlets and 4 USBs, and this connects to your Wi-Fi. It doesn't need a bridge or a hub. Basically, you can connect this to Alexa or Google, and you can tell it to turn on or off each one of the outlets and the USB. I'm planning to use this for turning lights on and off. You can do it for lamps, you can do it for Christmas lights, you can do it for decorative lights, LED lights that you're decorating with. All right, next is a switch. I would prefer replacing smart switches rather than light bulbs for 2 reasons. One, it doesn't require a hub like most smart lights do because they're small in size. And 2, you don't have to replace them. Once they're in, they're seamless, they're integrated. You don't have to replace them every 6 to 12 months. This one is one of my favorites because it has several capabilities. It's made by ecobee, so it pairs nicely with the thermostat, which I'll show you in a second. It has Alexa built right in, so you can have Alexa in every room. And then it also has a motion sensor, so you can set up having motion lights turn on or off automatically. And it also has a night light. And then lastly, the 4th feature is it has a room temperature sensor that pairs with your ecobee thermostat, and that way you can sense rooms and have it auto adjust based on activity. I don't have any lights to show you in this video, but I did leave a few links in the description if you're looking into smart lights like LED strips, so you can create an ambiance in your kitchen, your movie space, your gaming room. The second is a light beam that you can use for decorative art purpose, and also the nano LED panels, really popular to put in your creative studio. And now let's go into the next category. We're going to talk about thermostat appliances. Here we have the ecobee thermostat along with a smart sensor. So the smart sensor pairs with this. This will detect motion and temperature in other rooms. It will balance out your house based on what is the most active and to the temperature that you set it to, along with this sensor as well. I really like the ecobee because it also has Alexa speaker built in, so you can talk to it and use any Alexa commands. It's got really good data metrics on what your temperature usage is. It's estimated to save 27% on your energy bills. The last one I'll just briefly talk about, but I don't have any to show you, are appliances. You can find many appliances today, including refrigerators, washer and dryers, dishwashers, etc. If you're considering devices, one of my favorites that I found was the Samsung Family Hub, which has a display on the refrigerator, and it has 3 cameras inside the refrigerator that allow you to check remotely if you're missing something, or auto notify you if something is expired or you need to get some of any ingredient. All right, now we'll go to the last category. After you have all these devices, I've shown you about a dozen devices that you connected to your home, so your home has probably doubled in terms of Wi-Fi connections, and all of this is not going to use a terrible amount of bandwidth. I estimated the cameras are going to use 2 megabits per second. So all in all, you're probably looking at 5 to 10. It's not going to use a lot of speed, just depends on what kind of devices are connected. This travels out to the internet, so you can get it on your phone. So you may want to even consider upgrading your internet. Most ISPs provide 50 megabits, which should be sufficient for most of these devices unless you're streaming a lot of 4K videos. So if you have 4 people in your home, you're going to probably max out. You may need to go look at getting more internet bandwidth. So with that the case, you're going to need to upgrade your wireless. I would recommend going with a mesh Wi-Fi. That is a Wi-Fi with extra access points, and you can wire them in or you can have them wireless. I'm planning to go with the TP-Link. I'll link that one in the description. What I have for right now is called just a range extender. This works similar to what a mesh network does, but it doesn't give you the capabilities. So I have a wireless network and I need to prevent dead spots in other places of my home, so I'll put this and then it will get the signal and extend to the other device. What it doesn't have that the mesh networks have is forced roaming. So if your phone or some device connects to the wrong access with the weak signal, it will hold it, and if you move along the house, it won't exchange to the stronger signal. It's highly compatible among all three devices. You're not mixing and matching different access points and vendors. All right, that does it. Grand tour of my favorite smart home devices. What's your thoughts? Do you have favorite devices to add to the list? Or what's some of your favorites and why? Add those to the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, make sure to give it a like, a share, and a subscribe. That helps me grow the channel. Let me know you like this content. And also add some comments, videos that you would like to see me create in the future. All right, see you next time. So long.